New York, and they're doing quite well.
Well, and those were going to be my questions really that I've got is, maybe I'll ask them one at a time, or you can kind of rattle through. I'll try to. Why Nashville for you guys? What's in Nashville? Would you recommend people to come to Nashville to try to do, those other genres of business, those other genres of music now? And I guess what are the differences you see? What does Nashville have that those other places don't?
Okay. All right.
So you want me to go one at a time, or just want to?
You can run it.
All right. So why Nashville? How come you guys came? What made you decide to be here of all places?
Well, born and raised here for one.
Parental obligations for another one.
Yeah. But I was born and raised here. So for us, we've seen it. We've seen the whole change.
But then tearing down my old farmer's market.
I mean, for us, it's like, seeing the whole change in the music scene, now you may, we talked the other day about, watching TV.
You remember 328 Performance Hall?
Yeah.
Where was that at?
Right there by the Rutledge.
See. Changes.
Yeah. I mean, so for us, it's like, when you watch a football game or a hockey game, we talked about this the other day, like, when people see Nashville, that's the first thing they think about is country music, so.
And I think we got that hidden, well, it's not really hidden, but I think, that desire to be an entity, to be a part of that change. I mean, that is a strong desire for us to, I'm not going to say we're going to be the first, but we're going to be one of them pioneers, to say, okay, these guys created change because it's here. I mean, if we're going to live here, we might as well, try to, make our stamp, put a dent, take out 12, which size you want? Kick in a couple of doors, and just go with it. I mean, if we're going to live here, let's
embrace everything
and make it work for us.
Yeah, if it's gonna be Music City, let's make it Music City.
Do you see that that's possible here? I mean, with all obviously there's a lot of talent, a lot of people in the music industry who can do a lot of different things. They could probably turn on a dime if they want to. Mm-hmm. It's just the turning and making that turn. But do you see? I mean, you've been here this long in your whole lives. I mean, do you see that change moving in a positive way? Is that happening?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Fortunately, yes. Now, if I could just hit Powerball, it would be a wrap. it would be a wrap. But you also got to look at it. It's a lot of technology. Not only as I always speak about marketing, but there's a lot of technology, and I think for the artists, a lot of artists are up on technology, but a lot of them are not. And there's so many different ways you can bypass Music Row. You can bypass a lot of different things and utilize those technologies to get your stuff heard. I'm trying to get on a rowboat and ride over to Europe, just to do anything, just to step out of the box. Now, how many artists here are thinking about, Europe? I don't know, but Europe, they love us over in Europe. So just technology, marketing, just being creative and thinking, okay, what can I do? What can I do? And just outthink everybody or something. I don't know.
But I think it's on the way though. The mindset of, I hate to say Music Row, but it's not the way it was 20 years ago. And they're trying to figure out a way, like, how can we get the money to come back this way, even though country music and gospel music has held it for a long time here in the city, Music Row is starving just like everybody else. What else can we bring to the table, and there some are like coming around to it, so they open up the studios and everything else to everybody now because money's green no matter where you go, you know what I'm saying? So
that's the biggest devil is people, and I think we talked about it, people are not so gung-ho wanting to share their knowledge and resources. Let's level the playing field. If I got a great talent here, just because they're here, they can use your knowledge, resources, contacts, or whatever like that. But because you're so, tied up into what you're doing, what you're used to, and you're so tied into the norm, you don't want to share. I was talking to a young lady at BMI about that the other day. It's amazing how adults can still be as selfish as they are. With the times changing, you would think that everything would, okay, let's open this circle wide enough and let's start, doing some inclusions. Mm-hmm. But it is still separate and selfishness going on within the entertainment business. And you want to be Music City. One of the things, and that's one of the things, you hear a lot of lip service when people talk about, okay, yeah, we want to do this and do that, and the brass of music entertainment in Nashville wants to change per their mouth, but we're waiting to see what happens. I'm definitely waiting to see what happens. They're wanting to monopolize the entire music industry and say, okay, we want to be it. Nashville, Music City, anything coming dealing with music, we want to be it. And so we'll see.
I'm a songwriter. I don't just write country.
Mm-hmm.
What should I be doing outside of country? I don't know any artists that aren't country right now. Help me find what should I do? Where should I go? If I'm country, I can go to NSAI. Mm-hmm. But I have some songs that aren't country. What could I do with them in Nashville? How would I find these people?
Ooh,
the best part about a situation like that, the songwriters here in Nashville are so open. They're open. They're more open than the gatekeepers and check writers and all of that. They are very wide open because a lot of them themselves write more than just country. Because to them, music is music, songs are songs. If it's a good song, they don't care what kind of genre it is. So that's the good feeling part about being a songwriter. You can basically latch up with anybody and say, hey, my stuff is not basically country. Oh, what you got? Because they know it. Songwriting is their passion. If it's a good song, it's a good song. Mm-hmm. And everybody knows Nashville is the capital of songwriters.
But if you want to get out and I would suggest getting out, and visit where, there's a lot of, there's the French Quarter does rounds, Bluebird Cafe does rounds.
Did you start country?
Right, that are not just country, and I'm pretty sure every third Sunday here, it's the same thing, collaborating with other artists, but you got to just go out into the scene, if there's a sound that you're looking for, you got to go to the Exit Ends or the BB King or
one thing
down Prentice Alley.
One thing Nashville got, Bourbon Street.
Yeah,
one thing Nashville got is bars and eateries. So you would not have a difficult time in finding somewhere somebody's dealing with music. I'm a professional bar hopper, so it's like if you go out and you just sit at a bar, you drink, music and drinking brings a lot of people together, and networking in that aspect. Because I always tell people, I never force what I do onto people, because if I'm sitting there, we having a conversation, sooner or later you're gonna ask me what I do. And in this city, there's a lot of people that either songwriting, music, or something,
Mm-hmm.
So if your spirit is good, you can get all their resources, vice versa. They can get yours, and make that collaboration. Like I said, it's money. What'd you say? Money is green.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
And I don't have any.
Got that black hole money.
Speaking of black hole, we have this saying like in country, and the songwriters were people, the negative people.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're in the black hole, don't go down in there with them.
Okay.
It's the do you see that?
Yes,
what kind of advice do you give people? How do you stay positive when you're trying to find this stuff? How do you stay on the journey?
You better have faith.
Thick skin.
Yeah, thick skin. You gotta have it, man. Because if you're around that all the time, you're gonna fail. You're gonna quit, or it's gonna be just so force fed to you to the point it's like, I don't even want to do this no more. But you get around the people that believe in you, or you know, that want to try to help you further your career. So,
and that's what I said about, you know, people be a good judge of character. I mean, you know, just because it sounds good doesn't mean it's going to be good.
right.
And you know, I said earlier about a person's spirit. I mean, you got to feel that spirit. He and I both from East Nashville, so you know, we have that faith base, but we also have that other kind of, you know, faith to where, you know, we basically don't sugarcoat it. Me more than him, you know.
Yeah, I'm more politically correct.
You know, I would let it rip, but at the same time, I know that number one, you can't burn bridges. The
Right.
best part about all of this is that you do have choices. If you get me once, you know, I just choose not to, you know, do business with you anymore. And we all know a negative word of mouth travels
Oh yeah.
quick.
Oh yeah. Especially here, you know.
Exactly. So we have the capabilities to go down that dark path, but for what?
Yeah. It's not gonna get you anywhere.
For what?
So really, this will be fun. So for everything you guys